Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. So today I'm making the project that you may have seen if you follow my blog on a blog hop yesterday, and the theme was just because. So I thought I'd make a little gift bag. Haven't put anything on it. I think I will on the one I'm going to make now. So this is just a little gift bag that you could give to somebody just because they're doing a fabulous job, because they're keeping the country going, because they've been feeling down. And it's quite a nice size gift bag here. I've just put some hand sanitizer and some hand and nail gel, and I was thinking you could give this to somebody who's working in a hospital, a care home, they're washing their hands all the time and they're getting a bit red sore. So yeah, quite a simple gift bag. I've put a Velcro fastening on this one. I'm going to do, because I thought about it afterwards, I'm going to do this one in using magnets, which I will glue under there. And they do fold flat. So you could make a load of these. They're really quite simple, and just have them folded flat somewhere, ready for when you need a gift bag. Quite simple to put together. Okay, so let's get the stuff ready. So I am using the Tropical Oasis DSP for this bag, and I looked at the colours, and so I'm gone for Old Olive and Real Red. I'm using this sheet here, so I just thought it was a cheery, sunny, lovely sort of colour. And if I was buying flowers, I'm likely to buy lilies because I do love them. And I'm going to use this braided burlap trim for the handle of the bag, sort of giving you a sort of a I was put in mind of like a nice sort of beachy bag. I just thought that would go lovely, and it's nice and sturdy for a handle. So I'm going to use for the base, obviously the one that I used before as the prototype was retired. So if I can pick them up, we need a single piece of cardstock for the bag itself, and this is 11 inches by 8 inches, which is 28 centimetres by 20 centimetres. Go me saying the centimetres. It's because I've got them written down quite clearly next to me. So we are going to score on the long side. We are going to score at 3/4, at 4.5, at 6.5, and at 10.25. And all these measurements will of course be on my blog. There might be something clicking up there now, not clicking but appearing to take you to it. So this is 2 centimetres, 11.5 centimetres, 16.5 centimetres and 26 centimetres. And then we swivel around, so we've got the short side at the top, and we're going to score at 1.5 centimetres, 1.5 inches. That was inches. You see, this is why I don't say both. And 6.5 inches, which is 4 centimetres and 16 centimetres. Okay, and then if we go back to the long side, and we just want to make a little mark at 3 inches and a little mark at 8 inches, which is 7.5 centimetres. And I've written it wrong, the other centimetre mark. I'll put it on my blog. Okay, I've written 2.5, but it's not. And then swivel round so that the other short end is at the long end is at the top, and do it again at your 3 inches and your 8 inches. Okay, keep your scoring stylus in your hand and take a ruler. And what we're doing is from this corner score line here, intersection, we're going to draw a diagonal line out to where that notch is. Basically, you visualize that was a square, and we're doing the diagonal across the square. So that length there is the same as that length there. Okay. So we're going to do this on all 4 diagonals. So you can use, I've got a big grid mat here. You could use a magazine, you could use a stamping mat, something with a bit of give in to enable you to put these score lines in. So this is a no cut box. Didn't say that, did I? A no cut box, which I think is quite cool. It's not a no glue box, you do have to do a bit of glue in, but that is it. That is our basics done. I'm just going to put my scoring tool away, otherwise I'll forget. So let's fold and burnish all these score lines. So this is really quite quick, and you could get in a roll and make these whilst watching telly, and then you've got a load of gift boxes which are quite a nice size, ready for using. When I say really nice, right now you might have neighbours that work for the NHS or work for your local supermarket. It might be a delivery van person next door, somebody that's helping right now to keep us all safe and in our homes. And then we need to do that. I've done this on the wrong side again. Let me just rescore that on the other side. I want it on the inside. Make it easier because we're going to fold it in. There we go. I always, no matter how many times I make boxes like this, I always come to this point and think, oh, which way do I fold it? And I've made loads. And I still have to think. Right. So then what we're going to do is we're going to fold these corners like that. Notice that I didn't say any words. What I just said, we're just going to fold it like that. Maybe the other way. No, it was like that. Yeah. So what you'll think about is, let me try and do it so that you are going to be gluing this portion here, the other side of this diagonal. So we are going to basically fold that diagonal down on itself like that. So if we think about, that's going to be folded in and stuck down there, so these want to come out like that. So fold that down, and then this side wants to come out like that, so that it will stand up at a 90 degrees. It's really hard to explain what you're doing, but basically if you imagine you've got like a mouth talking, and that's what we're creating, like that. And then, as I say, you're just going to glue in this rectangle with a diagonal across. Those are where we're going to put our glue, but we're not going to do our glue yet because I want to hide in that section there. I want to hide the magnet and the ribbon. Okay, so I've got my magnets here. So I've got 4 magnets, one for each corner, and I'm going to take my glue dots. Okay, I'm slightly revising the way I'm sticking the magnet on and changing my magnets because I forgot. I had a set of magnets that aren't as strong, and so it wasn't holding it. But by putting it on that side, where I had it before, you're asking the magnet to go through 2 bits of cardstock and 2 glue dots, and it really wasn't holding, so I've moved it so it's now no longer going through the glue dot as well, plus I've changed to better magnets. Okay, so we're going to stick it just the other side of this crease, so it'll be on the outer edges of the bag. So glue dot on the back there, stick it on the inner edge, just the other side of that score line. Stick the other magnet on top. I know I'm down to just 2 of my good magnets, so I need to order some more. And remember not to order the other ones. And then I'm using my little flat edge of my pick me up tool, and you'll see why in a sec. And so now I can close that up. That side clicks in like that, give it a press, and then it sometimes is quite difficult to pull apart because they are very strong, so that little flat spatula edge, I just use that to push it and it comes off. I'm gonna have to do it on the other side without sticking that side. Get in between, and then that is nicely stuck. So now when that is stuck down, those sides will hold together better than they were before. Okay, and now I want to stick my handles on, so using this bit of burlap, and I'm going to go for the centre, so it will be the other side of that. Matter of fact, I could stick it there so I know it's the other side of that. So I want it to come up like that and down like that, about that much. So let's see what about that much is. So we'll go in for about 8.5 inches basically, and then we'll cut the other one the same. I might write that figure down so that when I write it up on the blog I remember 8.5 inches. I have my little notebook here where I write them in, and then I'll work out the centimetres afterwards, and then it's just easy for me to then sort of write up. So I want that to stick there, come round, yeah, so stick the 2 flat edges round, and so it's up like so. Let me see if I like the way that looks. Yeah, like it. So I want the glue to end there, so I just want a little bit on there. I'm going to use some fast fuse for quickness. You can use tear and tape, could use a glue dot. So I'm just going to put a strip either side of that magnet. Make sure it's not twisted. Hold it down like that. And then that just hides all the gubbins and makes it neater, which is what you want. There we go. So again, stick that there, follow it around so it's untwisted, not twisted. Put it like that. So that is it coming together. like so. That will hold better when it's stuck down because it's fighting against the cardboard at the moment. So now we want to put glue on these bits. So I'm going to use wet glue for this. I'm going to use some Tombow so that it holds it well. So let's move these things out of the way. So all the way along these bits. And then fold it down. And then you've hidden all those bits nicely. But you've stopped at the diagonal so that that's still got freedom of movement. I was just checking I press record. Often if I stop, when I start again, I mispress. So then I did that the other day on a recording. It's very frustrating when that happens, I have to say. So I was just checking. Wouldn't have been the end of the world. I would have just made another. And then I'd have two to give to someone. Well, to two different people. Not two to the same person. That's a bit greedy, isn't it? There we go. And that's our bag. And now all we've got to do is decorate. Okay. So we've got a nice little slight curvature there to it. It gives it a nice little shape. So to decorate, I have cut 2 bits of the DSP and I've cut 2 bits of real red. So I'm picking out the red in the flower and have them matted. So there's a nice 1/8 of an inch border. So these measure 4 3/4 by 3.5, which is 12 centimetres by 9 centimetres, and the DSP measures 4.5 by 3.25, which is 11.5 centimetres by 8.5 centimetres, and they are simply going to get glued together and then stuck on the bag. So you don't have to match, you could just stick DSP on there, you don't have to mat as well. I just think it makes it pop a little bit better. So I quite like it. A little bit of fluff there. I think I want it that way up. Yep. I haven't got the Tropical Oasis stamp set, but what I have got is the Tropical Chic, which goes really well with this set. It's got similar flowers and foliage, so I use that one. So now we're just going to put glue around the back of that, and then it's quite easy to stick on because I say it folds flat. So I just stick that on there. Again, we've got a nice 1/8 of an inch border all the way around there, 1/2 centimetre I think. And then that's the top and that's the top. So remember, you've got a directional pattern to not stick it upside down. So the bottoms are at the bottom of the bag. And so that's that bit done. So I say you can store them like that, or you put it together like that, and you've got a cute little handbag. And then you can decorate, because with this one I used a 1/2 inch circle and a 3/4 inch circle, but I think buttons would look lovely with this. So I'm going to die cut some buttons in the real red to go on there to make it look like there's 2 button fastenings. You could use real buttons if you had them. So I'm just going to get those die cut. So for the buttons, I'm using the Arts and Crafts set. I've probably used the buttons out of this set more than anything else, and I'm using that sort of pretty one there. It's got sort of looks a bit like flower. I thought that would go well with the sort of floral of the tropical chic there. So I'm going to, and they are sort of a 3/4, they're slightly short of 3/4, which means they fit in there really, really well. So I'm going to use a bit of Tombow to glue these in place. I was just resting my foot there on the stool that I have to stand on to press record, because I'm a bit short, and so I'm centering that so it's like on the centre of the button there. You could punch holes and thread ribbon through if you wanted to, and that would hold the bag together if you did a single piece of ribbon and knotted it. You could use Velcro dots like I did in the first one and then stick these on the outside, in which case all I did was stuck the ribbon to the circles that I put on, and that worked. I didn't use magnets in my prototype because I knew I didn't have enough. As I made the prototype, I remembered that I had one set of rubbish magnets. Well, I remembered which one it was. I knew I had one set of rubbish ones. And that's that. And then it's just a matter of if you want to add a tag to this or not. I have got the Tropical Oasis stamp set, and it has got some really nice sayings, and it could be "You're the greatest," which is lovely at the moment for our key workers, or just a simple thank you, or you could even do the long one along there. It's up to you. So I'm just going to make a tag to show you what a tag would look like. I've got some cream. I thought cream would go nice with this to sort of stamp the sentiment onto. I think I might do "You're the greatest" because the theme is just because, and that's sort of quite a nice saying. I'm going to stamp it in Old Olive, I think. Quite nice. I didn't do that very straight, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to be punching it out, and I could do a bit of foliage around. I'm going to use a punch to punch it out. I think I might use this pretty label punch to punch it out. Get it straight. That's quite nice. And then I'm going to layer it with the Everyday label punch. So I'm going to punch a bit of Old Olive because that does sit quite nicely in that. Can do a tag. I did make a tag for the other and then I didn't particularly like it. So that sort of layers quite nicely in there. And all I'm deciding is whether or not I want to put anything around it. I think I might just leave it. Actually, let's just leave it. And then I should glue these two together. Like so. And you could put a hole in that and have it hanging, or you can just stick it on the front of the box like so. I quite like it like that, so I'm just going to put a few dimensionals on there and have it popped up. Let me decide which side I want as the front. I think they're pretty much the same. So I'm going to stick this on flat. So eyeball it so it's in the middle. And there we have it. Our little gift bag, just because you wanted to say something and show your appreciation. Okay, hope you like that. All the details will be on my blog, nigezza.co.uk. It's linked down below, and I will link to the blog hop so you can see what everybody else has made and give yourself lots of ideas to show your appreciation right now. Or it could be that you're sending some warm wishes and positive thoughts to somebody who's on their own at the moment as well. So there's lots of reasons to make something just because right now. Okay, stay safe. See you again soon.